So hello and welcome to this plant and seed haul. Yeah, I'm just gonna start because I just sat down here, so I'm just going to have some tea. I think I'm gonna start with the plants because I'm very excited to see what they look like. And what I have ordered is actually olive trees, and I'm gonna show you. Gonna give you some description of it, and then I will move on to the seeds. So I am here in Sweden, and it's very cold here. And typically, olive trees are not normal to the area. So I still wanted to have indoor olive trees, and I placed the order on Amazon from Plant in a Box, and they had like an offer, so I could get 2 olive trees for a specific price. And I think the price with the shipping was approximately around 40 euros. And I mean, I don't know if that is a good price or a bad price. It was the price. Obviously, obviously, I would have liked to get even lower price, but I don't know. I actually going to travel to Turkey. So I don't know. I'm gonna look for I'm gonna check for some seeds and stuff when I will be going there as well. So I'm very excited to kind of travel to Turkey because it's close to the Mediterranean Sea. That was a side note. So I can start with showing you the package. So these 2 olive trees arrived in a brown carton, and they were like, I think they were kind of, there was some kind of wrapping around them, and then they have this extra wrapping around the entire plant. And I didn't open them, to be honest. They arrived here yesterday to the local post office, but I picked them up today, so they've been really long time at the post office and transit services. So some of the information that is on the package for these is it. I'm gonna show you. I opened them a little bit because I just, as soon as I picked them up, I opened the package so they can get some light. So it says here Olea Europea, I think, and these are eatable olives. So there are different varieties of olive trees. Now there is one wild olive tree, I think it's called Silvestris, Olea Silvestris, and that one is not eatable. So for that reason, I don't want to place an order on that. And you have to look, if you're gonna do the same, buy like olive trees online, you have to make sure that the olive tree you're buying is what you actually are after. So make sure that you know the names, such as Olea Europea, because this one is eatable. So other information on this package here is like how to plant it and how to water, that it needs water, and what kind of sun conditions it needs. And I think water with either rainwater or melted snow water is recommended for this. And then you can sort of see what the plant could potentially turn into after some year. I think it's gonna take some year, to be honest. And also you can see there are the olives that could potentially come from the plant, and they are green. It also says that these plants do not need to be cut, so they are like small plants, and no cut is required to kind of maintain the plant. As well, it says here the temperature, it can handle -10 Celsius degrees. So for example, if you order online olive trees and you are in an area in the winter time where you have approximately -5 degrees or something, to be honest, here right now it's around -5 Celsius, then you could probably place an order for these if the temperatures are looking good in the forecast. And I would suggest to have a look if you order in the winter time any kind of plant online to make sure if the company doesn't adjust their shipping depending on the weather. You can look up on Google just how will the weather sort of in your region be for the next like 2 weeks, so you know that if it's possible even to ship the plants to your location without freezing them. So let's open this one now. I'm gonna open because I have another one as well. So let's just open this package here and have a look to what we get, or what I get in this. Oh, there's some kinds of like soil here. So the plant comes in a plastic bag. I don't know if it's possible even to lift this one up. It's kind of stuck, so maybe I need to rip open the entire carton here. Yeah. I'm gonna see here if... Oh, it's kind of locked to the carton, so you definitely need to open the entire carton to get the plant out. And there is some soil stuff here, so I'm gonna clean that, So here is the plant, the first olive tree. And I think quality on these plants I order from Plant in a Box, they can be a little bit less quality, I would say. Especially when you first receive them, you need to do a little bit of maintenance of the plant. I don't know if you can tell, here is a lot of, I think it's some kind of soil or clay or something growing on these leaves. So yeah, the steam I can already sense it's not very stable in the pot. So I think this is a very small, cut branch that they have sort of grown roots on, and it's still, getting adjusted to grow in the pot like this. So, and this happened to me as well when I order, for example, red orange tarocco trees from Plant in a Box. I had 2 of them delivered, and initially they were in quite small pots and I had to repot them. So I had to buy soil, Mediterranean types of soil, and do some, get some bigger pots. And they were not really adjusted to the pot. Like they were, when I opened the pot, there was not so much root system. They had quite a lot of space in the pot, but it was like, I think some of these plants, when you get them from Plant in a Box, you need to give them like 6 months to actually kind of recover and start to actually put out some new growth, because any of that trees I have ordered from Plant in a Box, they have been kind of losing their leaves and not growing anything for the first 6 months. And it includes the red orange tarocco tree, 2 of them, and it includes 1 lemon tree, and it includes 1 lime, 1 calamondine, and 1 lemon bush. The lemon bush kind of lost everything. It went through some kind of serious trauma, but I think it will be something similar with these 2. But I'm gonna show you what they look like once if you will place order of these, what they kind of look like. I know there are other companies carrying olive trees. For example, I may think that this specific branch out here, the stem is not very strong to hold this type of branch, I don't know if you can tell, like the stem is very slim, and then it has like this huge branch to one side, and the other one is like, I cannot even see where this plant would get any more kinds of leaves shooting from, but I feel like the stem itself is very slim. To be honest, it's very, very slim. I'm gonna see here. Oh, is it cut here as well? No. But I can tell here the stem. Oh, it's clay on it. Okay. Yeah, you know what I need to do with this? I need to clean the plant entirely, because there's a lot of soil and clay and stuff on the entire plant. And I think this is the condition when you get them in the from Plant in a Box. But it's still like, I think because it's so easy to order from there, and they sell them on Amazon, and the prices, you can kind of get a package price. It's still good, you know, and they will grow out after some time. But you need to do a bit of maintenance when you get this. I think the soil, I mean the pot is, it's gonna remain in this pot for some time. I don't think this one have any root system either yet, but I think I need to stabilize this branch right here somehow so that the main stem is not gonna break, because this stem is almost thicker than the main stem. So that was the first. Now let's have a look on the other one. And here you can see what kind of expectations you could have with this kind of plant, that it could potentially grow like this. Hopefully, you know, I think it's gonna take some time for this, because you see how thick the stem is compared to here. I think it's gonna take some years. Now, they did have other kinds of olive trees. I just want to point that out. They did have bigger ones, like 1 meter tall, and then it's like a ball with green leaves. Those are very nice. They did have some other variety. I think it was more like a bush. There was also one website I checked, but they didn't do shipping to like a good price to my area, but they have like, they're gonna be carrying on their like website olive tree that kind of grows like a pillar, and I don't remember the name of that one, but that was an interesting piece because it can grow in a pot. And since the leaves starting from the bottom, I would expect that the olives would grow probably from the base and not up here, like have a long stem and up here grow some, but from the start of the base grow olives. So let's open the other one. It's exactly the same package. I cannot move my tea here because I don't know how this one, oh, it looks very similar in the style here, but a little bit better, I would say, this one comparing to, I don't know if you can tell. So the first one, kind of afraid it's gonna break the branch, and then the second one, more like a V shape, looks better. I think this one is stronger. Yeah, it has this one have a thicker stem comparing to that, the first one I showed you. But we're gonna open and see. There's a lot of this loose stuff in here that is, you know, like any Mediterranean area like Turkey, for example, they have a lot of olive trees and very good taste in their olives. So I'm looking forward going to Turkey and eating their fresh olives, you know. So here is again a lot of this stuff. I'm gonna clean that up after I finish with this video. Yeah, there's a lot of this stuff here. So here's the second plant, and I would say if I should compare these two here, you see this one, the first one, very thin kind of stem and big branch, kind of risking to break the whole thing. This one, on the other end, is a lot better. It just, you can see it's not wiggling in such way it's gonna break like this one is doing. And it also is more even, like it has actually 4 shoots here as far as I can see. And the other plant only have like 2, the 2 I show you. the stem is thicker on this one, and I think that there is more branches on this one, and it looks more like it's actually potentially gonna grow more strong comparing to this. And again, the leaves, just this dark green color, like, you know, real olive tree color, you know. And I'm very excited to have these two. So where am I gonna store them? Honestly, in the winter time, olive trees need light. They need cold temperature and they need light. So right where I'm seated right now, it's not the best condition because it's kind of cloudy, dark a little bit, and it's a little bit warmer. So I'm gonna move these two trees into another room where it's like 7 degrees and kind of daylight lamps in, and that will be for the winter time. Now I think in the summertime I'm gonna keep these somewhere outdoor, and if they grow anything further I will give them new pots. But as I said, I think I expect these trees here to kind of, you can see also there are like shoots from the main stem here, 2 shoots coming on the main stem. That's not a good sign, I think, because I would have preferred to have more like as this one. This one is much better, as you can see here. Anyway, I'm still very happy with these two, but I think in the summertime I'm gonna keep this outdoor, and I will be potentially giving them new pots in the summertime if they grow anything. But I do not expect these 2 olive trees to have any growth put on until summer, because 6 months from now, because that's my experience with ordering from Plant in a Box, that the trees that I order, they do not do anything for 6 months. So I think it's going to be the same. But I definitely will move these to better room temperature so that they will not lose any leaves. So let's put these in the background here now. Now let's move on to seed haul. So I actually been doing some seed haul on the channel just recently, and it's because it's January, and January is the time to, you can do this in December or November, you know, whenever you feel like you want to get started, to order seeds for, you know, next season, like summer, spring of the new year. But I had a lot of seeds already, so I kind of been using them. I've been starting kales, cabbage, broccoli, cauliflowers, some flowers, and tomatoes and cucumbers and stuff like that. I also did not have so many perennial flower seeds, so I did place an order of such, and I have showed that haul on the channel. And I honestly, in this kind of environment garden that I have, there is not so many perennial flowers, and there is not so many flower beds out there. I have been growing vegetables in this garden, but not so much flowers. So I figure out that I would start some perennials, because I think perennials are, if you buy seeds of perennials, you will not need to buy separate individual expensive plants of perennials. That is also a way you can do. But I was thinking maybe this would be more cost effective. I'm not sure, because I potentially will get a lot perennials from the start if these seeds start. So I got onto that track with perennials, and then I decided I'm gonna place an order of a few more. And I'm gonna show those to you in this video. So the first one that I order, now these packages are not so fun. That's the only minus. I might can use another broken phone so that I can show you what actually these flowers look like as I'm showing you the packages. So the first one that I order is called, let me have a look. I need to see if I have even Wi-Fi here. Maybe my Wi-Fi potentially have switched off. Hold on. So I had to solve the Wi-Fi. I hope it's gonna start just in a few seconds. So I might can show you what the flower actually look like. So yeah, the first one that I order is called Campanula rotundifolia. It's like a bell looking kind of flower that grows like a bell, and it's blue. This one is extinct in Sweden. So honestly, if you would travel to Sweden and you see this flower anywhere, it's not allowed to pick it up because it's extinct. When I been to Finland, I seen this one a lot after the roads. So I really do not know how come it's extinct in Sweden, but it's not in Finland. So I can show you a picture what it looks like, so you get an idea. Here you can see this is the flower seeds I order, and it's honestly the Swedish national flower. I can do a bit of a translation also here for this flower into English. It's called bluebell. Very, you know, that was something I would have thought about because I said that this is bell and it's blue. So yeah, this is something I picked up seeds from on this web shop. They were not super expensive, to be honest, and they came in this package. And now I figure I'm gonna start these seeds like today or tomorrow, because I'm gonna go travel to Turkey. So I will be I need to start these now because I will be a bit away during February. And what I know about this flower is that it grows in very not so nutritious types of soil. It grows more in soils with very little nutrients, like sand, small rocks next to the road, such types of environment. And I will plant some of these, and I do have this type of soil out here in some areas, so I will try and plant them out there and hope that they spread. I also gonna give some of these to my mother, and because I think this flower, it would have been very nice if this one can sort of grow in this area of Sweden, you know, so she might can plant some of these and plant them out in some areas, and hopefully this will, you know, spread in with more seeds from these. So that's the first. That is the first. Second, I have this flower, and this one is called Lythrum salcaria, and it looks like this. So it's like a purple pinkish kind of flower, and this one is perennial. It's perennial. I don't know if you can see. It's very beautiful flower in my opinion. Now I was thinking of growing, because I have ordered and sown, and they have started actually, a flower that looks very similar to this one in the color and the way that it grows, but it's more for like shadowy and like a little bit damp type of soils. And I was thinking of have that flower around the pond that I have in the garden that I dig myself. And this in comparison is such that it kind of needs a little bit more sun, maybe not so damp kind of soil and stuff like that. So I just figure I'm going to sow it in another location in the garden to attract kind of pollinators such as the bees and, you know, hummingbirds. No, hummingbirds, is that even a pollinator? Sorry if my English is not here. I'm going to translate this one for you and let you know what it's called in English. So in English, this flower that I show you, it's called purple loose striffle. Loose striffer. Can I just show you the name? Purple loose striffer. So that's the second. I'm gonna sow that as well like today or tomorrow, so it's finished before I go travel. Next flower that I have. So the other third seed bag that I order is in Latin called Malva muscata. And in English I looked up, it's called musk mallow. And the flowers look something like this. So they are perennial and they come in pink. And I picked up pink color flowers. But you can also get this one in white. If you like preferring white, or you want to mix, or whatever you want. This one, mallow, is also some kind of medicinal. There's like one variety of mallow that is kind of medicinal purpose used. This one, mallow, musk mallow, is not. I think it has a scent that kind of reminds of musk, but it's not medicinal purpose. It's more like for flower, perennial flower. So that's what I got. I can show you the seeds. I will show you the seeds. These are very easy sowing seeds because you can see them, you know. So you can see they are like black dots, but actually they are quite big. So this is very good news. I think I'm gonna give, there is a lot in here. There is a lot, I don't know if you can tell. I think I'm gonna give, I will sow maybe 2 candy boxes of this, and then I will give some remainings to my mother, because honestly with perennial seeds I don't want to like sow half the package this year and then half the next year. I want to kind of sow all the seeds, if it's possible, of the perennials, because perennials take few years to kind of get lush and, you know, look nice in the garden. So that's why I want to do that. And next, so the next seed that I order, in Latin, I'm gonna give you the name. It's called Lychnis coronaria. Honestly, these seeds, as I'm looking here, some says that they are possible to grow until 2027. So maybe I'm gonna save a little bit, for example, of this, since it's like lasting for a few years. But I think you got my point. I wanna make most use of these in this year, so that the flowers actually will be in the garden like the years to come and just grow lush, not sit in these small bags. So in English, I'll try to translate the name of this, and it says dressed in purple. And I will give you the photo of this flower. So the flower, now you will find different varieties, but the one I have in the bag here is this white with pink in the center, and it's perennial. Now, as you can see, I like pink, so when it concerns flowers, anything pink is kind of what I look for. But I know there are people with different preferences in flowers, and you must buy what you kind of prefer. But I look for pink flowers mostly, so I end up with these very nice flowers in my opinion. And yeah, I don't know what they will look like. I think this is kind of a more, you know, not like a kind of sturdy type of plant. It's more like fine, refined or finer type of plant. So I think this one could look nicer, maybe not in the back of the flower bed, but more like in the front, closer to the edge of the flower bed, where you would kind of view the flower bed. Because from my kind of head, I think of a flower bed either having some structure like waves, or either it kind of moves like this. So you have smaller, shorter types of flowers in the front, and then they get kind of taller towards the back. That's kind of how I'm thinking when I planning now a new flower bed here. So that was that. Now I'm gonna show you the last seed bag what I order. So the last seed bag in this haul, and as I said, I'm gonna sow these as well today or tomorrow, so I will be having a lot of these candy containers in the progress in the next few weeks when I will be away traveling. But anyway, the last seed bag that I order, and I think this is the last seed bag for the season that I order. I think I maybe will order some like cabbage and maybe a tomato that's called Vilma for next year, sort of. But again, if I go travel, maybe I find some interesting varieties in Turkey or something. I might buy some vegetable type of seeds, you know. But this right here is not a flower, it's not perennial. This is a vegetable slash fruit. It's called Physalis philadelphica. And it's a tomatillo purple. So this is like a vegetable. Now I had one year some kind of Physalis, the yellow golden berries growing, and I had a few fruits from those plants, and they were very tasty. I mean, golden berries is definitely something interesting to kind of grow. But I never tried this tomatillo. It's supposed to be something between an apple and I think if I'm not mistaken, it's supposed to be something between an apple and a tomato. And this one is purple, so the color is interesting. So it says like in English tomatillo, and I'm gonna show you what it looks like. So here we got the fruit, the final product right here. You can see it's purple basically. Purple, here you can tell what it looks like. So it kind of looks like, to me it looks like goldenberry but purple, but it says that it's more like an apple type of crunchiness maybe, and more like tomato inside. I don't know. If you have ever grown this, you can let me know if this is tasty, you know. So here is, you can also see, to me these kind of packages or leaves around the actual fruit looks like lanterns in the autumn. And I was just thinking, because the year when I had golden berries growing in the garden, I actually grew them in, was I think in IKEA bags, these plastic IKEA plastic bags that you can get from IKEA to carry your stuff when you purchase something. And I grew these golden berries in such containers, plastic bags, and then I took them inside in the autumn, so I allowed the fruits that were on the plants to kind of ripe on the plant. And to me that was like, it looked very interesting. It was like having lanterns attached to a huge plant. And honestly, these plants, as you can see here as well, they kind of grow, they can get like up to 2 meter or something like this, 1.5 meter tall. So these are not small plants to have in a pot. I think you need to have bigger sized containers. I think for every like let's say if the plant grows 1 meter tall, then you need to have like 10 liter of soil. If the plant grows 2 meter tall, you need to have at least 20 liter soil. And oh, here you can see the inside of the tomatillo purple. So you see that it's kind of looks like a tomato on the inside, but it's supposed to be more like crunchy, like an apple. I seriously would be very interested to try this because, and just the color, I don't know, I'm very like, I like you know, any fruit or berry or something that is purple, like blueberries and purple to potatoes and stuff like this. So this, very interesting. Now I'm gonna show you the seeds. I will start these seeds as well today because I don't know how how much time they need. I'm gonna keep them close to a heater because I try to grow these from seeds. As I said, I had golden berries 1 year. Tried to grow 1 year from seeds. I didn't really get any sturdy plants. I think it was because it was too cold. But I did buy by accident like physalis plants, and that's how I had them. But I will show you the seed. Now, if you grow these, I think honestly you can take seeds from the plants unless it's like some F1 variety. So you can see they are visible. They look quite a lot like tomato seeds or aubergine seeds or something like this. So pretty easy to plant. And for these seeds, I think for most of these seeds that I show you now, they are quite small. I will not add soil on top. I will just sow them directly on the top layer, and then once they start to kind of sprout and need soil, I might add just a tiny bit of that on top. But yeah, so I'm gonna sow that as well, probably today or tomorrow, depending on my time and what I'm doing and stuff. But I need to look up here because, for example, this bluebell, I think this one is requiring sand or some other type, not just planting soil. It requires like sand, more like kind of not so nutritious types of soils. And I will read up if the other plants need any specific soil. I think that is a good recommendation when you're gonna sow perennials, especially. For example, this tomatillo, this one can go directly in planting soil, no worries about it. But when you're gonna sow perennial flowers and you're buying the seeds, make sure that you read up what is the requirements of soil for these when you start them, because some of them, like echinacea, needs sand or very good drainage in the soil, and you don't want to start the seeds and end up losing the whole container just because you added the wrong soil. And also it's good to make sure to check if any of these need to be like in water soaking before sowing them. But I think most tiny seeds, they just go directly on the surface of the soil. And then there was some of these, was it potentially this pink, or one of these, maybe the musk mallow maybe needs to be soaked, to be honest, for at least a few hours. I'm gonna look up because I don't want to make a mistake with those. So that's what I will be doing. And by the way, again, this looks incredible to me. I really like these olive trees. Yeah, I'm gonna clean them. I'm gonna clean these, clean the leaves, and I'm gonna maybe give them some melted snow water with some nutrients in. And then I just gonna, with special nutrients for Mediterranean types of plants, and then I just gonna put them in the cold 7-degree-ish room with extra lamp. This, by the way, olive trees, they are green throughout the entire year. If they start to lose the leaves, there is a problem to them. I don't know if these have any insects or pests, and that is a good recommendation when you get new plants, especially from Plant in a Box or anything you order online. Maybe do a little bit quarantine, because I have had the experience, especially from Plant in a Box, getting these lice types of insects to my citrus trees, and they spreading very rapidly, to be honest. So make sure maybe do a little bit quarantine, keep check on them and stuff like that. But I will put them in that room, but I will keep them a bit away from all other plants so that they not gonna spread any pests somewhere. So yeah, so this is something I will be doing in the next hours or over the next day before I'm gonna travel. And honestly, I have a lot more tomatoes and a few more chili or bell peppers to repot before I'm gonna go travel. And yeah, so